Hello, my soul brothers and soul sisters. I am Ron Smith, and this is the Dr. Ron Smith Investigate Show, where we separate the real from fake, the fact from fiction, and give you the winner's edge. And sometimes we're able to turn your water into wine. Today is season 3, episode number 1. Yay! This is number 1. And, my whole platform is talking the talk, which is the conversation I wish I had. And one of the things that I've learned is that to begin a new season, we're going to talk about mindset. And one of my college professors used to say, my attitude will determine my altitude, which means that my attitude will determine how far I would go in life. And one of the things that I know for sure is that your mindset is your set of belief that shapes your world and is influence how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. And I was reading the Wall Street Journal a couple of weeks ago, and I ran across this article about Usher. Usher is one of those guys who been in the entertainment business for like 20 plus years. Matter of fact, he went in as a teenager, and he has had a hit after hit after hit. And, by his residency in Las Vegas, that was totally sold out and successful. He also did the Super Bowl, which everybody in the world experienced him. And the thing about it, when I was reading the article, it was kind of like, But when I kept on reading, he gave the ABCs of having a positive mindset. And basically, I had to take some notes on that. I'm saying, how can one of the international superstars in this world, and what made him to be the man that he is and the entertainer he is, that is on top of his craft? So I took some notes, and I would go down his ABCs, which I thought was dynamite, because I want us to start with the mindset. And, I'm always talking about, financial literacy, because I think that's one of besides your spirituality, your mindset is one of those things that keys to success, which is, your spirituality, your finances, and your relationship. If you get those 3 things together, man, there is, as they say, you can conquer the world. And basically, within those things, you have to have discipline enough to actually overcome some issues within yourself. So let's talk about the ABCs. A stands for avoiding negative sources, and that could be people, places, or things. And eliminating your bad habits, at least recognizing what your strengths and weaknesses are. And the best illustration I can give is that I do not go grocery shopping hungry. Do not go grocery shopping hungry. Even if you have a list, which I which create a discipline of knowing what you need, and this is what your purpose is. If you go hungry, you can always get those Oreo cookies, or you're gonna get some some of the things that you probably know you don't need, energy drinks, et cetera, et cetera. So avoid the negative sources, people, places, and things. There are some people that you can't hang out around with. There's some places that you can't go, because actually, a sidebar, they trigger you to do some things that you used to do that you shouldn't do anymore. B, believe in yourself, and you have to have a belief in yourself. The only way that you can develop the belief in yourself is actually having a plan and start building some confidence in some things by actually achieving certain things. One of the things that I know for sure is that when you start getting your 5, 6, and 7-year-old to actually start reading to them, they read back to you, and basically you ask them their opinion on what they read. You build confidence in them in front of the class, because basically they have practice with you, especially as a parent and a grandparent, auntie, or uncle, get your nieces and nephews or your sons and daughters, your grandchildren, get them to start reading to you. That's what they would start believing in themselves. C, consider things from every angle. And one of the things, the way to do that is make sure you're not the smartest person in your group. And to say that it basically, the cliche is basically, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change room. I know sometimes we like to be in the big fish in a small pond, but you need to expand around and get to know people who are smarter than you. Therefore, you can continue to cross-pollinate some of the things that they know. So basically, you can actually continue to grow. D, don't give up, don't give in, don't let things get you down. I know we're in the political season where sometimes I even do not like to turn on the news because you always do all this negative attack ads that interrupt your program. You have all these people saying different things. You need to have a information about what's going on in the world. But some negative information or some broadcasting or broadcasters or certain channels you need to stay away from because basically it's coming. E, enjoy life today. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow will never come. And that's one of the things that you have to, you have a plan. Normally I have a plan for each day and I have a plan for the week normally, and I see all the weeks, and then I have a plan for the whole month. I'm not that important. It's just that I want to detail. I want to be in charge of my time. Therefore, I kind of map out what I want to do, and the only way I can do that, enjoy life, is I have a plan of making sure that what I have, the tasks that I have at hand, will be accomplished. F stand for family and friends are hidden treasures. One of the things that I think we should do more, I know some people are very good at it and some people are not, is that talk to your senior members of your family. There are a wealth of treasures, and they can tell you about your family histories. One of the things that they can tell you about is basically the medical histories of some of the people that have passed along. I mean, if you know that you have a history of different types of cancer in your family, that basically you can't wait to what they prescribe the years that you should do it. For instance, colon cancer. If you know that basically they say about 45 to 50 that you should start screening. But if your uncle had it, your grandfather had it, and your father had it, that you should be able to start, getting those PSAs and getting those checkups that you should do more frequently than somebody who do not have that particular thing going on in their family. G, give more than you plan to get every day. That's one of the things that I try to live by. I try to go out of my way. It could be simple as open the door for someone. Or I know one day when I was at Lowe's, this lady had this big old bag of rocks. And I know that somebody put it in their basket, and she was looking around on how she was going to actually do it. So I asked her, could I do that for her? You got the key word. I asked her, could I help her? You can't just go and do that. Those days are over. I don't think chivalry is dead, but basically you need to make sure you ask. So therefore your feeling won't be hurt when she, tell you something negative or vice versa. H, hang on to your dreams. In this world, you might create a plan and you might be able to do certain things, but at the same time, there are always going to be for every action, there going to be a opposite and equal reaction. And sometimes it's positive, and sometimes it's negative. And sometimes it appears that maybe the universe is flowing against you. But I assure you, hang on to your dreams. I, I stand for ignoring the BS. They're going to be always be so. Some people wake up drinking haterade, and I was just sharing with one of my coworkers is that I never seen a critic uh, throw a rock down. A critic always throw a rock up. So people who are aspiring and people who are meeting today's challenges are not the people who actually will be giving you critics. Yeah, it's all the people who are envious of you, people who are jealous of you, and people who are not doing anything are the people who actually throw rocks at you. Saying basically, it can't be done, or you should do it this way. If I was you, et cetera, et cetera. Just ignore the BS. J, just do it. Sometimes, often I say, plan your work and work your plan. But sometimes you can plan too much and not accomplish anything that you actually are work in progress. If you're going to do a book, start writing. If you're going to start it, you say you want to do a song, you got to start practicing. You say you want to sing, you got to go ahead and do it. Some things that you learn along the way. Hey, keep on trying no matter how hard it seems. The best example was if you in high school, I was a high school basketball star, high school, as far as basically my talent took me. But if you saw me the first time I shot a free throw, it was almost like I'm throwing a football against the goal. But I can say that, my senior year, I was 85% free throw shooter for the whole season. And the only reason that I accomplished that is because I didn't give up. I kept on trying. L, love yourself first. And most important, love God always. And, there's a scripture, that tell us that we have to love ourselves as well as our neighbor. And my point is that we sometimes think that basically we love ourselves by, getting that extra scoop of ice cream or taking that extra shot or saying that I need to rest without exercising. But we have to realize that if you love yourself, you would do what's best. You would get up in the morning if it takes you 30 minutes extra to do that 30-minute walk, or do that 30-minute run, or do that exercise, or having the discipline to know that basically I'm not going to eat that extra stuff, the food that I know that I should not eat. M, make it happen. And like I said, you can always do that planning, but you have to, at some point, execute that plan. Has not been anyone who have all the box checked and the I's dotted before they go to the market or before they went to execute a plan, or whether it's exercise, etc. There is no 100% solution, is my point. You're going to have to eventually put down the notepad, put down the schemes, the charts, etc., and make a decision that you're going to actually go and put the rubber to the road. N, never let them see you sweat. And that means that basically, you're going to all have those people who saying, the naysayers, and the people who haven't achieved anything themselves, or the people that they don't want you to leave them behind. So always make sure that you get to your craft to the point where you can actually practice. Now, those were some of the, we're down at N, and we're going to take a break right now, and we can continue with Usher's ABCs of having a mindset for success. We are back. This is season 3 and episode number 1, and we're talking about mindset. And mindset is basically the set of belief, the belief that shapes your world, the things that influence you, how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. And I was reading the Wall Street Journal, and I ran across this article about what makes Usher Usher. And basically, he gave the ABCs, and I'm going down the list. We stopped at from A to N, and we're going to continue, and then we're going to wrap this up to how that fits in for you about your financial plans, how we're going to actually do season 3. The plan for season 3, by the way, is actually give you actionable plans to execute. I want to go from people who are beginning their before you begin your career, people who are in college or people first starting out in their career, as well as the senior veterans. And there's some people who need to clean up some things in their financial bailiwick, so to speak. So we're going to start with O. O stands for open your eyes and see everything around you. And sometimes we're what's that cliche said? We we're too close to the forest to see the trees, and sometimes we see things that are so bigger than that we are, and then we don't understand that the only way that we can eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So sometimes we have to slow our roll and open our eyes to what's going on around us and see how that is actually affecting us. And we're gonna before we end, we're gonna put this all together. P stand for practice, and I'm going to add this: perfect practice make perfect. You know, I could throw the ball up against the goal, through my legs all I want to, and that will not make me successful in the game. So basically, what I need to do is practice shots that's going to help me be successful in whatever game that I'm playing. But you got to do that perfect practice. One of the things that I like to do, especially if I'm giving a talk or a speech or anything to that nature, I like to practice my beginning and I like to practice my end. And then I also like to throw in some stories that, to me, I like to tell funny jokes in between there. Therefore, those are the things that I practice. And one of the things that I know professional, especially we're talking about Usher's, and basically his mindset is that, and I heard, and I can't think of what philosopher said this. He said, "Practice within when you were out." So basically, what he was saying is actually mentally going through, let's say, the first 10 plays. If I was quarterbacking of the University of Alabama Crimson Tide, they have the first 15 plays are scripted, and basically any championship team has the first 15 plays it's already scripted. So therefore, when they run out on the field, they pretty much know how they're going to attack. So that is one of the things that we have to practice. Q stand for quitters never win and winners never quit. I know you heard that so many times, and the only way that you actually could push through is basically preparing yourself. One of the things that I've started back running, by the way, and there are people who love to run. I have never been one of those persons. I only do it because I feel that it's for discipline for my mental capacity. I get up early in the morning, not because I really love getting up early in the morning, but I do it because I know that takes me to another level that I can overcome this physical body challenge and saying, hey, you can sleep in, which I can sleep in. But then again, I won't get the results that I want of the feeling that I get when I get up and then get out there and run. And, prior to actually getting out there, I have my prayer and meditation times, and I have my time that I get into the scripture. day. But those are the things that keeps me, that I found, since I do have a law enforcement background, that 70% of the people who are incarcerated have are actually functionally illiterate, and they have a very low to no reading level. Think about that. Just think about that. If they had learned to, had the opportunity or learned to read, or took advantage of the opportunity to read, they would not be in that situation that they're in. At the same time, knowing that reading can give you the keys to change your attitude, that would change your altitude. S stand for stop procrastinating. Like I said, plans are important, but you just can't get hung up on the plans and not have start executing that plan. T, take control of your own destiny. I came from a challenging, I'm not going to even say disadvantaged background. I came from a challenging background, but it came to a point where I can't blame my father or my mother about the condition I am. I had to man up and make sure that I could take control of my own destiny. As I get older, I realized that they had their own challenges to overcome. And even as you get older, you still have challenges that you overcome. It might be, basically you could have all the money that you desire, but you still have to deal with this flesh and this body. And basically it requires you to eat right, sleep right, and get exercise. And if you don't do those things, it would actually tell on you longer than you will actually know. You stand for understand yourself first, that you can better understand others. One of the things that I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. Therefore, I'm strengthening my strengths and improving my weaknesses, so basically I can be over a better person. And these stand for actually visualizing yourself. Matter of fact, I interviewed a young lady who's going to be interning at SKST Radio, and basically I asked her what's her 5-year plan and how would she see herself in 10 years. And the thing about it is that you have to start visualizing that now. And the thing is that oftentimes nobody asks us what we think of ourselves and what our opinions are. So, I know better. And if I see a young person, I start trying to get them to visualize that. And some people do that with vision boards. And that is a great way to do that. W stand for wanting it more than anything else, which means that basically you got to know what that it is for you. If that it is to have a successful marriage, successful family, or a successful financial life, successful spiritual life, you have to make sure that plan is in place, which means that basically you have to actually want that more than anything else. But you got to know what that it is. You already made your spot on earth, and X marks the spot. And Y, you are unique in God's grace, and no one can replace you. And I really wanted to make sure that if X marks the spot and God has graced you uniquely, you can't compare yourself to no one else. You are the original. If you try to do something like somebody else, you'll be just another cheap copy. So I understand the process is having all these things that you learn and being your true self. If you're a trumpet player, you could play like Miles, but you should have your own distinct sound. As a basketball player, I can idolize Michael Jordan or LeBron James or even Stephen Curry, but I should be able to create something that was uniquely mine. And Z stand for zeroing in on your target and go forward. And that's what Usher has been able to implement in his life and to be very international superstar. And I just wanted to highlight some things about financing and mindset. Last season, I talked about how the rich, the poor, middle class, and the rich think. And the thing about it is that how you view money makes the difference. I want you to start learning, first of all, learn the language of money. Understand what compound interest and how that works for you. Understand what an authorized user. Understand leverage, which is OPM. Understand what debt is, because I come from a community to think that basically, you shouldn't use debt, that you should pay cash for everything. But that would be very difficult for you achieving a whole lot of things in a specific short amount of time. So we're going to talk about good debt, bad debt. As I've been talking about this whole ABC thing, creating a plan. What's your game plan for, being successful? What's your game plan for your family? What's your game plan for your career? What's your game plan for your spiritual life? Those things just don't happen. You have to plan for that and work your plan. And the main thing is, with all that, whether you earn or create, you have to live within a less than what you make, which means that basically you have to find a way to reduce debt. But the mindset really comes from, you have to change your attitude, even about what you believe, because, your environment dictates a whole lot of things. Your parents, how they felt about money, your neighborhood, how they felt about money, the schools you went to, how they felt about money, and the people that you interact with. And the real thing is the people that you really model yourself as. So we're going to live below our means, invest in ourselves, and have I call the long game plan, which means what we're going to do in retirement and what kind of legacy that we need to build. So, and what I wanted, the tip that I want to leave today is that in order for you to be financially independent, whether it's 5, 10, or 15 years from now, you're going to have multiple income streams. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. How do we create and generate multiple income streams? So the 5 things that we're going to be talking about is how we earn or create money, how we manage it, how we leverage it, how we protect it, and what's the long game, which means basically our retirement plan and how we want to build our legacy. And there's some I call them hacks, but there's some things that this plan takes a while to put in place. But when it is in place, it takes care of themselves. So first of all, in order to change your life, you have to change the way you do things. And that doing things, it takes every day, which means that basically you have to come up with a plan, work your plan, and then we create strategies and tactics of how we overcome those things. So mindset. Mindset is a set of beliefs that shape your world, that influence how you think, feel, and behave. Thank you for your time. My time is up, and I thank you for yours.